What's going on, guys? Just kidding. What's going on, guys? Again, it's Nick McFarland here at the Weight House in College Park, and it's time for another wow. Let's go. What's going on? So it is time for another wow. This week's wow is going to be based specifically on the request that I got last night. I asked some of my members in the club what they wanted to see, and they said, hey, let's go ahead and do something on shoulders. Now, shoulders are my weakest point, so I do them a little bit more often probably than others will do because they are the weakest part. So I try to, put in a little bit more strength training to them. The 4 movements that we're going to do today are going to be my 4 go-tos. I'll do these at least once a week, and depending on how that second training day for shoulders goes, I may throw these in again. All right, so my first one is going to be overhead press. Second is going to be lateral raises, followed by kind of like a superset of forward raises and then some rear levers, really targeting the rear part of the delts or the shoulders. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First one, we're going to put you on the straight bar. So we've set up the barbell. Typically what I do with these J cups is I'll put it to where when I come and grab the bar, I'm right about shoulder width and easy enough to where I can kind of bend down slightly and then press up. All right, and with this movement, you want to make sure that when you press up, that you don't hit yourself in the chin. All right, so be very, very careful with that. It doesn't feel good. Trust me, I've done it a few times. Move this bench out of the way. Move it close to the wall, or move it and get it out of the way. You're gonna come up right there and then step away. 1, 2. Hands right about shoulder width. Just like that. And you'll notice that with my stance, my hips are out slightly, my knees are bent slightly, and my chest is nice and tall. So you want to be very, very careful with this movement because it puts a lot of strain on your lower back. So you got to make sure that your form is proper with it. So start off light. So start off with the Bella bar. That's a 35-pound bar. If that bar is too heavy, then start off with some dumbbells, and you can still mimic the same movement. Just try to imagine there being a bar together and that you're pressing up at the same time. So there's number 1. Now, number 2, what we're gonna do is grab some dumbbells and do a lateral raise. All right, so lateral raise, all you need is 2 of the same size dumbbells. You're gonna come out and you wanna bring the weight about up to your shoulder height, like so, okay? Now you wanna try to stay away from bringing your wrist above your elbow and also your elbow above your shoulder or your wrist above your shoulder. I like to train my clients based on a straight line. So you bring up that dumbbell right up to your shoulder and your elbow, everything is in line, right? So we don't want it like that, and we don't want it like that. So everything in a straight line. Now with these, they're gonna get tiring very quickly, and an easy way to kind of help out with that without trying to lower the weight, just bend more at the elbow. If you bend at the elbow, now you can raise here. We have a little bit less rotation, but the weight is closer to us, making it feel like it's a little bit lighter. All right, so that's number 2. Now with the third movement and possibly the 4th movement, you're probably going to need a little bit lighter weight. So for the third movement, what I like to do is instead of doing both of them at the same time with the lateral raises, what I like to do is isolate each side and do them individually. So we're alternating 1, 1, 2, 2, just like that, instead of doing them both at the same time. Now, most people can do this without an issue. For me, I'm sure if you're a member watching this or a friend of mine watching this, you already know my shoulder injury. I have a crazy shoulder injury from a bicycle accident. So a lot of times when I do things at the same time, the amount of movement and the range of motion that I have is a lot less than your average person. So I typically will do stuff a lot more either with dumbbells or isolating each side. So my bench press, one of my worst movements because of that. So I usually will result in doing bench press with just dumbbells instead of the straight bar. So there's that. Now, number 4. you're gonna go ahead and grab the incline decline bench. Bring it up to about this angle. So if you want to be specific, we're on the fourth slot in the Rogue 82 bench. So you can grab your dumbbells, and because of my height or lack thereof, I can actually put my feet on those feet of the bench and kind of stand against it. Now, bring your arms down to where gravity brings the weight, and then rear back. And just pull back, like that. Now, I'd like to do a slight pause there at the top. And to make it a little bit more difficult and more challenging, what you can do is when you come up, don't go back down all the way. So our delts are still engaged here, and then we're going back up. Just like that. Now, you will feel a little bit in your triceps, and that's because they are holding onto the weight. Remember, your elbow joint is right here. So what do you do with a tricep kickback? You go like that. So if you're holding the weight like that, automatically your tricep's gonna be engaged. So you will feel that. But I want you to make sure that your arm stays straight and you're focusing on the rear part of your shoulder, engaging to bring that weight back. All right, guys? And there's the 4 movements, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it and it was helpful, please hit that like button. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribing. And as always, love, peace, and calories. I'm out. Just strictly with the Olympic bar.